we go.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Backcountry Powcast. This week, it's myself, Nick, and on this episode, we have Jack Sarama, also known as Long Track Jack. So welcome to the show, Jack.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. So
appreciate you coming on, man. Looking forward to this. I was telling Nick, you're kind of a hard one to track down, but I'm glad we got you on here. This'll be a good one, I think.
Yeah, I know we've been playing phone tag for a little bit. I've been all over the place this fall, so thanks for making the effort. And stoked to chop it up with you guys here.
Yeah, for sure, dude. You've been, speaking of like all over the place, and I know you've been busy. I follow you on Instagram, and I kind of keep tabs, on what everybody's doing for the most part, and where you've been. And I mean, you had like heydays going on, and you're just like all over the place. You got a lot of stuff happening.
For sure. Yeah, summer goes so fast, and I do a big event at the end of July, a music festival called North Woodstock in northern Wisconsin, and then that's about a month out from heydays. So heydays comes up real quick after that. And then we go to the Wide Open Wisconsin show, which is 2 weeks after, and it feels like just when you're recovered from heydays, it's here we go again. Mm-hmm. And that kind of takes care of September. And October's big planning season, for sure. I've had a couple weddings this fall, too, so I've been traveling for that. And I'm sitting here in Texas right now. I was down here for the Formula One race. Was in Chicago a couple weekends ago. So, yeah, been all over the map for sure. But excited to take my travels to the west starting in December here and then get things rolling for winter.
Yeah. Nope, that sounds awesome, dude. So, kind of an unofficial question that we've kind of started, I guess, a trend you could say on previous episodes. What was your first sled? First snowmobile?
First ever snowmobile was Kitty Cat.
Yeah. Nice.
Art Cat, Kitty Cat. I had a pretty good progression through the early sleds. My parents took care of me when I was a kid and wanted to introduce me to the sport. I grew up riding around with my dad, on his lap. He had a little set of handlebars under his, and I'd fall asleep on the sled sometimes. Like, I just didn't want to get off until I was asleep. So they got me a Kitty Cat, and then they got me it was an 80s 340 Yamaha. I think it was like an Ovation or something. Yeah, and that thing, I was pretty young, and it had real stiff steering until the engine got warm. So I could barely turn the thing coming out of the garage, I remember, for a while until it warmed up. But went from that to a 440 Polaris Indy, a 94. And then they surprised me one day. I think I was 12 years old with a 06 Renegade 600 SDI. And,
oh, man. Best day of your life.
Got me on the Skidoo train. Yep, for sure. I always wanted a Skidoo. At that point, I really wanted a Summit, a Rev Summit, but they got me on a Renegade, and they said, this is the last sled we're buying you. You better start saving up if you want to keep doing this.
There you go.
So that began my lawn mowing career as a 10, 12-year-old. And I love that sled. I put a ton of miles on it, never had an issue with it. Just put gas and oil in it and did some minor maintenance. And then after that, bought my first Summit, and that began the off-trail journey.
What year was your first sled that you bought then?
So that would have been when I was 15 or 16. Yeah. So to date myself here, I guess that would have been like 2012.
Okay.
Quick math.
So your XM chassis was your first?
It was an
sled
XP.
you
It was
bought?
an 09 XP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There you go.
It was a cool sled, actually. It had, local guy, really into sleds and backcountry, former ice oval racer. His name's Chad Ramish. He won a bunch of world championships. He built
I've heard of him.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's really well known in the ice oval arena.
I've heard of him.
And then he rides with some guys out in Colorado still, and they link up with Brandt here and there. Like, He's a ripper.
Nice.
He built two identical '09 XPs. One was a big bore, one was stock, but they both had like Fox shocks with Tom's kits.
Yeah.
They had these cool like mod hoods where he cut out the headlights and intake and put like the gauge in plexiglass flat on there with a single headlight.
I've seen those. Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
actually seeing this sled.
Yep. And pod filters and everything. It was a pretty dialed in sled. And man, that just totally changed my snowmobiling journey. Right there. It was a beast at the time. Still a great sled, honestly.
Do you still have it?
Man, I don't know.
Oh,
I've seen it though. I saw it a few years ago up in the UP.
really?
And, so I think it's still out there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. But that totally changed the trajectory of my snowmobiling journey for sure.
Yeah, because you're from Wisconsin, correct?
Yep. Land O'Lakes, right on the border of Wisconsin and the UP.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania National Forest. Yeah.
Exactly, Nick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's my backyard.
Hold on one.
So
Sorry, had to. I'm gonna have to edit that part out. The stupid dog. So,
all
hold on one second. I'll be right back.
all right. Yep. Good old Land O'Lakes.
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives up there, Will. He lives grew up there, and I'm like, I literally grew up fishing in Sylvania growing up, and you grew up
That's crazy.
sneaking in there in the winter. Like, he's like, I used to go in there in the winter all the time when I wasn't supposed to and stuff, go ice fishing.
Yeah.
That's
I bet
hilarious.
I've never gone ice fishing in there. I bet that would be badass. Are you not
Yeah.
supposed to?
I don't know about,
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's all catch and release, but I don't know if it's, if you're allowed to ice fish or not.
Yeah, I've lived right next to Sylvania all my life, and still it's like mysterious to me with some of the rules and stuff. But
Yeah.
all right, where
sorry
were
about
we?
that, guys.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, you're from Wisconsin. I think we covered that. I think I was asking you that, so I'm going to start from there again. So you're from Wisconsin originally, correct?
Yeah,
Oh,
Land O'Lakes, right on the
Yep.
border of the UP.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think you answered that, so I'll go back to that and cut that in. Cool. Did your kitty cat have the deep snow kit?
No.
Didn't have the Alpha Track, Alpha rails on it.
I wish.
Yeah.
I think there's a need for some kind of mid-step for kids, to start going off trail. The 200s today just get buried right away, and I've been talking with some guys about that at trade shows. So who knows? Maybe the OEMs will start doing it, or maybe somebody will just start doing it in the aftermarket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good idea, definitely.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So let's kind of get into your background and how you got to where you are today. So we kind of talked about, we went through your first sleds. How did you get into backcountry riding?
Well, it kind of started with that sled, and I had always heard of guys going up into the UP and riding off trail up there and riding the power lines and stuff like that. And obviously I'd been watching videos too. Like, a lot of my high school career was spent on YouTube and on like the forums, like Do Talk. That's how I know Nick, honestly. It's through Do Talk back in the day. So I was just spending my days consuming snowmobiling content. So we would watch the 509 films and the Boondockers films and Thunderstruck and all those films that were coming out during those times, and that was just always the dream. So for me, it started with ditch banging. We'd go up and ditch bang some of the highways like US 2 in the UP, learn how to side hill. It's not very good at it. Riding in gravel pits and stuff like that. Any open space that we could carve, and the snow was good, or side hill or climb or jump. Started jumping some roads and doing that type of thing. So it took a while. I was always into jumping. So I'd always be eyeing up snowbanks to jump and little things to pop off of, little features, even making some of my own with a big, compact tractor and PTO blower, blowing some takeoffs in and jumping to flat, stuff like that. And that's where it began. So we started Boondock Nation kind of out of that. There's a group of us that started riding together, and we thought it was cool what we were doing, so we just started posting about it, started to get some traction, and it goes on from there. It just started snowballing from there. But to me, it was always like I really just enjoyed snowmobiling more than anything else, and I also really enjoyed taking videos, like even if it was just on a cell phone. Now obviously I've got a bunch of camera equipment and it's gone a lot further than that, but it kind of goes back to the same passion where I love getting the shots of my friends. Obviously I've spent a lot of time on the other side of the lens too, with all we've done with Boondock, but I really do like being behind the camera as well. So that was kind of what fueled the early social media days before we ever had any other camera guys helping us out. It was me and my buddy Josh Lacko that were behind the lens for the most part. So that kind of fueled the passion as well.
Nice.
That's
so
a total art form, doing the video end of it as well as, at the beginning, I'm sure it was just you two, and, with two people, you can only get so much footage, especially if it's just, only one camera maybe at the time,
Right.
You guys have definitely come a long way. Anyone that's watched you guys from the beginning has seen how many hours you've put in, how much time you've put in at this. And it definitely progressed, and you definitely have made quite a name for yourself.
Well, thanks, Nick. Yeah, you're OG as it gets in terms of that. Like, I know you've been watching since the beginning, so I thank you for that. Because, like Boondock Nation wouldn't exist without people actually watching the stuff and liking the stuff and sharing the stuff. Like, as corny as that sounds, eyeballs are what drive the whole thing. So,
100%.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, like to echo Nick, it's crazy. Did you ever think it would grow to something like this?
No, not in a million years. That's for sure. Our whole goal in starting out was just to get some discounts on products. So
It's an expensive hobby, man.
It is. Yeah, that was the plan. I remember we were getting 25% off stuff. We were stoked, and that some of the first deals that came through. But we got some good advice. Got to give credit where credit's due. And Dylan's dad is in TV production and has been for a long time, and he kind of challenged us to start putting together some serious marketing packages. He gave us a helping hand up with producing our first episode and episodes after that, and giving us a really, really good break on it. And that's kind of what started the sponsorship journey, and actually having some paid contracts come through to fund it, because you can't pay the bills with sled parts necessarily. So, and discounts on parts. So
It's true.
That was kind of a turning point when we started to take it seriously as a business. I dropped out of college. I was going to Michigan Tech in Houghton. Basically chose to go there because I could snowmobile, have a snowmobile up there. They had snowmobile parking. And I could go ride after school. I got a good scholarship for academics to go there too. And I was on the mechanical engineering route, but dropped out to pursue Boondock Nation full time. I was up there, and then I'm going to office hours so I can take off time to go to Heydays and go to these other trade shows that we're going to. So I'm doing that on the weekends. That's running into the week with the travel, trying to stay in school. And all I could think about was snowmobiling. So that's what drove me to drop out of college and pursue it full time. And then, so it kind of grabbed another gear there. And then it really went to the next level when we decided to move out west. We would take trips out and we'd go just to film, and we'd be filming as much as we could. We kind of do that every day anyway, but when we moved out there, then there was a lot less pressure, and we could actually go out and go for some more fun rides where we're just working on the progression and not just like setting up a shot and one guy goes and does it and then we move on to the next thing. So that's when the riding really went to the next level, as well as the connections. When you're riding out there, it's like you pull up into a parking lot with a friend that you know, or to meet a friend that you know, and then he brings somebody that, say some pro athlete that you heard of. Next thing you know, you're riding with like Jay Menaberry or whoever it may be, and then your network just grows from there. So really, like being in the hub of it, Idaho Falls area, there's tons of riders around there. There's tons of aftermarket companies, gear companies, Motorfist, Climb, all right there. Snow West Magazine, SLP, Boondocker. I'm forgetting many of them, but they're all right in that Idaho Falls area, and that's where we were. So made a ton of connections there, and that really took things to the next level. And then next thing you know, we're like riding with the big dogs and actually able to hang with them after a couple of years.
Yeah. You're like, finally made it.
Yeah, so that was kind of the progression. And it took some time too. I mean, like, I'm trying to think, that was winter of 2017, 2018 that we made the move out there. And I don't think I really got my jumping dialed in until winter of 2020, 2021. And that's when I started to have some like actual control in the air. Before that, I just had balls or no brains. Like I would just send it. If I was off at all, I would not be able to recover, and now around that 2020, 2021 era, that's when I started to get control over the sled and started to be able to whip it a little bit, started to be able to get things back, and also got more technical in the trees. I was starting to consistently land hopovers, and bow ties and stuff like that. And that was perfect timing because turbos came out that next year. So now I'm starting to feel really good on the sled. It's the same chassis, but with more power. And that took not only the jumping to the next level, but the tree riding and everything else too. So that really aided in the progression.
Definitely game changer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just look at stuff so much differently on Boost out there.
You can. I found it. I was able to slow my riding down because I can wait longer to make the decision that I need to, and still know that I'm gonna have the power to back it up when I need it. And you can be a little more selective and a little bit slower if you need to. I mean, obviously it's still fun to zoom through the trees, but definitely was able to slow my riding down and give me a lot more confidence at the same time too.
Yeah, you got that right. It's amazing what those things get through. The tunnel makes all the difference too. Like, sleds have really come so far. When you look at the 2023 Gen 5 or the Matrix, in 2022 compared to even the Gen 4s, but like that 16 axis, 16 XM, in a matter of a few years, the game just totally changed.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of makes you like.
I was going
to say, it makes you wonder like how guys did it like on the old 2005 RMKs or even older stuff. Like they're probably not even thinking about pulling lines that guys are doing nowadays.
No, exactly, and that's what's so impressive about what those guys did on those sleds. It's like I can't even imagine what they would have done with the stuff we have today.
Yeah.
You think about like, I don't know, some of the Turnagain hardcore guys and some of the sled necks guys. Like Barant and Dan Adams, if they had, the sleds we have today in their primes, it would have been just insane.
Totally different game for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of makes me feel bad actually. That's harder.
But that's the sport that has to progress, and like that's the way it has progressed. And I don't know where it's going to go from here. Like I don't know how much more power you can fit in these things. Like, I mean, and how much more usable power are you going to use with a sled? I mean, a 200 horsepower sled, 250 horsepower sled is not something everybody needs. Yeah, they're fun, but like, I mean, really, we're we're kind of at the capish of like where power needs to go with these things. So I'm excited to see what the technology in the future brings for it. But
Yeah, I'm with you there. Most people can't outride their NA sled today, let alone the
Yeah.
turbo. And I think, with most things, they kind of reach their peak form eventually. You see it kind of with cars and with cell phones. They're kind of all the same size
yeah,
for the past however many years, and there's new tweaks and refinements in technology. But
little
yeah,
thing.
I feel like we might be getting there with snowmobiles, but you never know. I saw those ruffian
Yeah.
sled snow bike things at heydays, and I'm like, that's a radical change.
Hmm.
Something like that I think would be really fun in the UP. When you're in tight trees, low elevation, 600, 120 horse, super lightweight. That would
I
be a
mean,
fun sled for a lot of people, myself included.
yeah, I mean that's double the horsepower of a snow bike typically, and it's a pretty impressive looking chassis. I would definitely love to check one out for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. And then the electric conversations there too. You see what guys are doing with dirt bikes. Obviously, I don't think the tech's anywhere close to where it needs to be for the cold weather and
No.
just
Definitely.
the remote locations that we're in and the life and death factor of it. But maybe one day, I guess not having the driveline efficiency loss that you get with a CVT could be huge. That's an upside that I see, and the maintenance side
Yeah.
of it or lack of,
Yeah.
those would be pluses.
An
But
instant torque response too, as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. But it's just not anywhere close with the weight and the longevity and the cold
No.
and all of it right now.
Yeah.
So
Someday maybe.
yeah,
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, I know they've come, a long way in the last, I'll say 7, 8 years with EV technology, but there's still a long ways to go, you know, before it's going to match a diesel or a gas or anything, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, whatever. It's gonna be a minute. It's going to take some more development.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So going back, what were some of the biggest takeaways from your time building Boondock Nation? Like lessons learned, all that good stuff. Like for you, how did that help you launch into what we're going to talk about here shortly?
Yeah, great question. I don't even know where to start. I learned so much. I traded my college education to go do this, and I think it was a good trade. Like I learned so much along the way, from maintaining relationships with people and understanding how, marketing and what people are looking for there. Like the whole business side of it was definitely something that I'm going to carry into whatever I do in my life from here on out. I understand that I can't huck it for views forever. So when I'm like 50, 60 years old, I'm probably not going to be hitting like 200-foot jumps, right? But and
Why
doing
not?
things exactly the same. Who knows? Doing things exactly the same way that I am, but I feel like I can go do anything now through starting this business and carrying it through to where it is today. So the business side, that was a huge upside, but the other thing is the friendships that I've made and some of the things that I've overcome with friends. You face so much adversity as a snowmobiler, whether it's like mechanical failure, injury, getting lost, crazy things that happen on road trips. There's so many life lessons in all of that. And that's something that every one of us can relate to. I think every snowmobiler can relate to. And that stuff goes a long way. I mean, I feel like it's really developed my character over the years and really helped define who I am. Whether it's, I've seen broken femurs out on the mountain and guys getting hellied out to, terrible, terrible breakdowns and carnage and towing sleds out, hellion sleds out, crashing trucks and changing tires and rewiring trailer brakes and, the list goes on. So all of those things, I've learned to take in stride when you have setbacks. There's no sense in, throwing a fit and having an attitude about it other than a good one. And you roll with the punches. And that's definitely been a big takeaway for me. So there's that. And then I guess the third thing would be like the travel and seeing different parts of the world and different cultures too. I've ridden in Oregon on the West Coast. I've ridden Quebec, looking at the Atlantic Ocean in the Chickasaws out on the East Coast, and a lot of places in between. So it's been pretty cool to like meet people from all different geographies that share the same passion that is snowmobiling, but get to know people all over the map, and hope to take that overseas one day, or down to South America, or go somewhere international other than Canada. But the travel's really opened my eyes to the different ways people live. I've seen some really cool houses, from the most simple sled camp setups to the most extravagant stuff you can imagine, and all those people have one thing in common, that's snowmobiling. So it's been a pretty cool journey, all those things considered.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks. It's a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It's being a sledder's just changed my life. Like, obviously I was born into the sport and grew up doing it, but to do it seriously and at this level, and you guys know just what it takes to keep a sled on the snow maintenance wise. Those long nights in the shop. You just want to ride the next day. You're up until 3 a.m. wrenching.
Yeah.
Get up at 6 or 7, go ride, instantly break something else the next day, and you're done for the day. Like, that'll really tell you who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Traveling across country, breaking down on the first day, and then, been there, done that. So,
yeah.
So we know you're working on something new here, the Backcountry Village. So what is it?
Sure.
What can you tell us about it, man?
Well, I'm pretty stoked about it. Growing up riding the UP, I have a special, like, that place has a special place in my heart, especially the Keweenaw. So I had the opportunity to get involved with Backcountry Village. We bought 300 acres of land in South Range, which is just south of Houghton, if you're familiar. Ridden there for years and years. Went to college 5 miles north of there. So I was very familiar with the area, and the right opportunity came up. Got involved on the ownership side of it, and our goal is to build just a dream action sports compound up there. 4 seasons. I'm obviously focused on the sled side of it.
Yep.
Want to really dial it in for sledders, but it's going to be family friendly year round and have a ton of badass stuff going on. So I'll kind of talk through the progression of it and like what our goals are.
Yeah.
So we want to we want to hook up the community. Like, that's just a part of our mission, is to give back to South Range, help develop South Range and the areas around Houghton as well. So we're doing a free day use parking area to start things out. We're not going to have any lodging built this winter, or much done in the terrain park or RV park or anything they'll get into. But we leveled like 3 acres, slashed and burned it all. Well, we didn't burn it all. It's all really good timber, actually. So we cut all the timber up, and we're doing a community wood share event where we're giving all the firewood to the locals this weekend, actually. So it's just one thing we're doing to give back. But it's going to be free and open to the public. We think we can fit like 60 trucks and trailers there, and it's right off the highway, direct trail access, and then good backcountry access right through our terrain park. So there's like 15,000 acres of CFA land out the back that you can touch, and then our terrain park section's about 160, a little more. So the goals for the terrain park are to kind of glade out the trees to be optimum tree spacing. If it's too tight to ride on a sled, we're going to open it up a little bit. cut out a lot of the undergrowth, the little annoying saplings and stuff that are coming up. Make some features. There's a cool 120-year-old dam on the property. It's 30, 40 feet tall. So we're hoping to do some stuff with that. Maybe make like a wall ride. I see a lot of potential there for like the mountain bike guys. Because like I said, we want to make it year round. So we'll have features for sleds, but also like side by side off trail areas, like hopefully some mud bog pits, some rock crawling areas, some like boondocking through the trees, some downhill mountain bike trails, some single track dirt bike trails, stuff like that. So that's kind of the vision for the terrain park. That's going to be a constant evolution over years to come, as we develop that more, find more features and build them up. Next summer we'll have an RV park ready to rock, ready to rent, laying the utilities for all that right now. And it's 26 spots over 10 acres, so it's pretty well spaced out. There's actually like trees between the spots.
Nice.
We're encouraging people to come for the season, like come park your rig for the season, fly in and out of Houghton if you gotta go somewhere. We'll have storage for people's rigs and toys. So RV park will be ready to go for the summer, and then cabins by next winter. So we're gonna start with 5. We've got infrastructure for like 18 right now.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Some good terrain on the property. The cabins have a beautiful view, like looking out at Lake Superior and Houghton and all that. Tri Mountain right there is actually taller than like the Hancock side of the Houghton Portage. It's like really good elevation change, and you can see for miles and miles. You can see Mount Bohemia from some of these cabin sites. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I mean, I think it's kind of every guy's dream to have a ton of land and a ton of equipment to just be able to go play with.
Your own playground, man.
Yeah, and that's what we've got there. I hope to have a shop there in the next couple of years, potentially doing some like customer sled builds and selling trailside stuff that the dealer doesn't often stock, whether that be A-arms or certain accessories or gear or whatever. Kind of working with my partners that I've had throughout the industry to start making that happen. And then we want to have some other standalone businesses there too, like a bike shop I think would be really cool, maybe even some dining or a gas station or something. So we're working on all that, but yeah, it's been great. It's been the right time for it. I'm excited to do more back in the Midwest. Everything we ever did with Boondock Nation in the UP just turned to gold because that's where our audience is. People love that we're from the Midwest. This is where most of the snowmobilers are by population. There's more snowmobilers in like any one of the states, Wisconsin, Michigan, or Minnesota. Like you take one of those states and there's more snowmobilers than all the western states combined. So I think there's a demand for it. That being said, lots of people ride up there. Lots of people are looking for lodging, and we want to make it family friendly too. So we'll have a kids track that I'm really excited about, just a closed course for kids. It's like a 6-acre bowl on the property. So there's kind of one way in, one way out. They can't get themselves into too much trouble, but it gives them a little freedom. Mom and dad can sit up on the edge and watch them go. They can't really go too far. So, because there's really no place for kids to learn to ride unless you have your own private land. You got to be 12 to go out on the trails.
That's true.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So we want to start fostering the next generation that way. The amount of opportunity is really overwhelming. Like, we could do clinics. We've already got plans to do some women's clinics too, for off-trail riding. We want it to be like a training ground for people that want to go out west. There's tons of opportunity for events. We could do different types of races. We've got a stretch of old highway that runs through the property that's paved, super wide, 1,500 foot of straight or so, that we could do some drags on. Or we've been talking about like a straight rhythm type event for sleds.
That'd be sweet.
Concerts, like you name it. So I'm chomping at the bit. It's crazy. It's almost, like I said, it's almost overwhelming, the amount of opportunity, and just trying to prioritize what goes first. But it's going to be really cool to tie it all back to the Midwest and have like a compound of my own in the UP.
That's pretty exciting, man. I can't wait to see where this goes and what evolves from this.
Yeah, you guys will have to come up. So I think we talked about we're doing an event on January 31st to kind of kick things off at the parking lot. And people are like, well, what are you going to do in a parking lot? Well, we were kind of wondering the same thing. But I think we've got a pretty good plan put together. And I could probably break the news here. When's this going to come out?
Honestly, I could probably put it up tonight. So
Okay.
it could be up tonight. Most people will probably start listening to it tomorrow, though, on their way to work.
Okay. I'm nervous because the contract's not signed. I'm supposed to have it this week, but what we're working on is a freestyle show.
Oh.
With Turcotte, Kyle Saxton, and Willie Elam. So it's the week after X Games, the weekend after X Games. I'm going to go to X Games, and then those guys might fly, or we're going to convoy back to the UP. Got a bunch of people additionally coming in, and we're going to put on a freestyle show. We're going to give away the sled from the giveaway that we're running. Yep. And do a ride out. So there will be a backcountry ride out with me and probably Turcotte and Saxton and Willie and whoever else is around. And then
you make me take vacation days now, Jack. You make me take vacation days.
Yeah, you might have to. You might have to. And then a trail ride out with Stretch. I don't know if you guys know Stretch at all. He's a local celebrity up there.
Yep.
His page is like 55,000 followers on Facebook, so more than a local celebrity, I guess.
Yep.
He's gonna do a trail ride out. We'll do a backcountry ride out. We'll do the freestyle show, and then we'll have an after party at one of the local taverns. And working on screening some films there as well. Some of the new sled films that are coming out, like Turcotte's and then Matt Baker's Resume. So yeah, that's all in the works right now. I've got like a poster designed up. We haven't launched it yet, but I guess if you're listening to this, you're one of the first to know. So mark your calendars, book your lodging. We don't have any lodging yet, unfortunately, but we want to make this like a yearly thing and turn into like a weekend-long event. So into January each year is the plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, let us know if we can help with anything. That would be awesome. It sounds like it'll be a great time.
Yeah, would love for you guys to come up and represent your brand, hand out stuff, pop up a little booth, whatever you guys want to do. You could be recording podcasts there, whatever
do it
you
live.
Want to do. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We could.
Yep.
We could. I mean, if we get bandwidth, we could do it. I could probably figure out how to record it, but yeah, that would be. We could probably do that. So we're gonna have to talk offline too, because we do a group ride every year too. Michigan Boondockers does. This year we're doing it in McMillan, which is, you're probably familiar with that. It's more eastern, UP, kind of maybe central, I guess you could say. So we do that. We do that every year where we go and we rent out a resort or a house or whatever, and then a bunch of people come ride. It's really just like you said, it's a good networking. It's a good way to network, meet new people. That's actually how me and Nick met. I mean, 10 years ago, actually 11 years ago. So yeah, I know, man. So, it's just a great networking event, and we usually take like 3 or 4 days and do it. But now that this is coming to light and it's going to be opening by next winter, man, we might have to keep me posted when your dates are, when you open up with the cabins, because we could probably fill that up.
For sure, that'll be sick. That's our goal too, is to like be kind of a hub to tie a lot of the Midwest folks together, and that's where I think I'm at a unique opportunity to do this, because I know I've gotten to know so many people in the game, and I haven't done much in the Midwest the last couple of years. Well, 2 years ago we didn't have snow. Last year wasn't that much better. We never really hit it right, and I've been jonesing to do more. So it gets me really excited talking about stuff like that. If we can be hosting more events like that at BCV and more group rides, and getting different groups and clubs and whatever it may be together, and doing stuff like that. Like that is one of the ultimate goals. So yeah, let's be in touch on that.
Yeah, for sure, dude. We could definitely plan a weekend. I was kind of hoping, well, I already had a plan, but I was like, man, I'm like, if this Backcountry Village opens up this winter, I'm like, maybe we could do a second group ride and we could go there too. Because I've had a lot of people ask me, they're like, hey, what do you know about this Backcountry Village place? And I'm like, I really don't know. Like, I see videos, they post like teasers, and I hear it like secondhand or third hand. And I'm like, why don't we just get Jack on the podcast and just ask him and tell so people know what's up. So
yeah, come straight to the source. I
know, right?
I need to get the word out there a little bit more in detail, and I've got a few goals to do that. So we're really going to be ramping up the social media here. I'm also going to be launching a podcast of my own.
Nice.
Here this fall, so I'm pretty excited about that. There's going to be some solo episodes where I'm just riffing on certain topics, and then it's mostly going to be guest based. My goal is to film as many of them as I can in person on my travels. I ride with so many cool people that I'm curious to talk more with, and I love this format. Like I love chatting it up with you guys here today. I think it's really engaging for those that are listening, and it's really a good opportunity for us to like dig deeper in the age of social media, where it's just 10-15 second videos and it's gone in a flash. Like this is definitely an opportunity to get a lot of information out there. So that's my goal. Curious to learn more about a lot of the people that I already know and ride with, and more beyond that. So once I get that up and rolling, would love to have you guys on. Maybe we can film an episode if you come up for the 31st event.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And then on the Backcountry Village note too, we've launched a website, so there's some information up there. I'm putting more and more up all the time. We're also launching a sled build giveaway, so we kind of soft launched that at the trade shows, but we're coming with a big drop around November 1st. So we've got parts available on the site. We've got merch coming. So parts from like Backwoods, Bikeman, Fox Shocks, 3D Logic brake levers, stuff like that, more to come. You can search by OEM and by category. So if you want like Polaris performance parts, you can filter those out, or Skidoo suspension, and it'll show you those parts. And every $5 you spend gets you an entry. So if you're going to be buying a set of shocks, that equals a ton of entries, right? So definitely going to be getting the word out there on that. Once we've got everything buttoned up, everybody that's already bought stuff is entered, and we've been tracking those entries. People that bought wraps from Deviant Inc. at Heydays, or any Backwoods BMP parts, got entered. But the odds are still pretty good because we're still a small brand and just starting out. So if you guys have any parts that you need to buy, definitely check out our store.
Yeah, man.
And
Site looks
like
good.
I said, there's some, thank you. There's some information about BCV going on up there. But other goals are to start a YouTube channel and series for BCV, do some action sports content, of course, and then also do some development content. The dev team's working up there like every day. We're doing all our own work in terms of the clearing and grading and running the utilities and framing and just about everything but the concrete. So I think there's a lot to talk about there, and we'll be trying to get the information out that way as well. So
that will definitely get people hyped up about it, to see the progression of it, being built and stuff like that. So
I think so. Yeah.
We'll have to schedule like a follow-up episode like in a year, and just kind of maybe have you back on and check in and see how things are progressing and how your guys' by that time it'd have been your first summer. I mean, winter and summer. So check in and see how everything's going, and kind of give everybody an update on that. I think they'd like it.
Yeah, let's plan on that for sure, like a year from now. I'm interested to see where things are going to be in terms of Backcountry Village and just my personal goals in snowmobiling too. This is an interesting chapter in the book of Jack. Things are changing in my life like crazy. Like, my life is so different than it was 365 days ago right now. It's wild. So yeah, things have changed with Boondock Nation quite a bit. Dylan had a kid this fall, right around heydays. Obviously with that, having a newborn, can't be on the road all winter long like we used to. I also never had any ownership in Boondock Nation, despite how it seemed. I helped start it. Back in the day, I created the pages and stuff, but we had an investor that basically bought us out to get us going. And I never had any ownership. I thought that would come back to me at some point, but 18-year-old me just signed my life away. Thought people would take care of me in that way, but things happen, and they wanted to go a different direction with it. So Boondock Nation will not exist in its current form. There's no plans to shoot anything or release anything for this coming winter, but that's not stopping me. So I'm going to continue on the legacy as best I can, continue to travel, continue to do destination style content with my own twist on it. So I'll be traveling all over, kind of putting together a tour for this winter right now. January is looking pretty sweet. Gonna head out west right after the holidays, because I always come back to the Midwest for the holidays, and start up in northern Montana and work our way down to Out West Sled Fest, which is an event that we started as Boondock Nation with Sawtell Mountain Resort. I've been meeting with those guys, and Snow West has jumped on board and Climb to help put it together this year. So all
Nice.
systems go there. It's going to be better than ever. So hit Out West Sled Fest and then travel and ride our way down to X Games, which will be the following weekend, and then convoy back to the UP for the BCV winter kickoff event. So January is looking pretty good. I'm going to be in the Midwest all of February. Got Ben's Camp Radar Run and a couple other snow drags going on. I'm going to be riding a bunch of backcountry and filming as much as I can, linking up with as many people as I can. And then March, back out west, got Octane Expo first weekend. Hopefully going to get a trip to BC in, Jackson Hole Hill Climbs, Spring Fever at Beaver Creek, Utah. So that's 4 weekends in a row. And then April.
Bro, who's your travel agent?
That's me. You're looking at him. No, I've been pouring over the calendar, for the past couple of weeks. I basically got this stuff down and kind of know where I'm going to be at every day, just about. So it's a good feeling. The show goes on one way or another. It's sad that I'm not going to be necessarily flying the Boondock Nation flag as I have in the past, but I hope that it can live on through me and what I'm trying to do, and that my goal is to build something that's bigger than me, like Boondock Nation was, that people can get behind and that can carry on if something ever happened to me one day, or if I, hurt myself or whatever. So that's the goal. It all starts right here, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked to carry it on.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. We're super pumped for you. I mean, that's just got to be I guess you could say a dream come true, or maybe you didn't even have this in your scope, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, maybe. But dude, either way, that's incredible. What a story too, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it felt pretty devastating when I got I could kind of see it coming, but when the official word was that we were going to fold things up with Boondock, it came as a major shock to me, and it took me a long time to wrap my head around that and to recover from that. I was in a tough space for a while, because this has been my life for 10 years,
Yeah.
But
And it's huge.
It is. Yeah, it is. And, I'm going to have a personal podcast episode that's going to explain a lot of this in depth, because we could talk for like a couple hours about this. I don't understand the decision making necessarily. I mean, it was a successful business. So it's really surprising to me, but I feel unchained at the same time. Like, I feel like this is an opportunity to show myself what I really got. And the industry, the community has been behind me too. Everyone of my sponsors that I've told hasn't really blinked and has been there to support me. The whole community, you know, going to Heydays is not easy. I had to answer a lot of questions. You know, where's your booth? What's up with Boondock Nation? Everybody's been super supportive. So, and I started to see that even last winter when I was out west solo by myself and the writing was kind of on the wall. And that's what encouraged me to continue, like, to go for this. So
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it in any other community or any other sport. Like, sledders are a different breed, and it feels so good, like, having so many people behind me. It's been really encouraging as I've been going through kind of a tough time. So appreciate your guys' support, and I can't wait to see where we're at a year from now.
Yeah,
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, neither can we, dude. That's awesome. I think everybody's just kind of in a holding pattern, and they're like, it's almost this mysterious riding part going in. Nobody really knows what's happening, but I mean, hey guys, listen to this. By now, you should know what's going to happen. So I think once this gets out there and people listen to it, it'll answer a lot of questions, and maybe your DMs will slow down some, huh?
Yeah, it's been hard to keep up that way, and but it's encouraging. You know, people are curious, and that means a lot to me. You know, knowing that people are thinking about me and Boondock and what's going on. I got big love for Dylan and for the brand. You know, we built a heck of a thing together, and I'm sad to see it change in the way that it is. But like I said, the show goes on. So yeah, I'm stoked, boys.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. All right, man. Well, we're hitting about the 1 hour mark, so we can start wrapping things up if you're good with that. Unless there's something else that you want to cover that we haven't discussed yet.
No, I think that's a good note to leave it on.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed the episode. Jack, thanks for cutting out some time, man. I know you're busy after this discussion. I know for sure you are super busy. But we appreciate you carving out some time for us, man, and talking to us. It's been great talking with you.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. Again, your support means a ton. Appreciate you guys having me on. This has been great, and looking forward to the next time. And we'll see you on January 31st.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yep. Look on the page and on the website, guys. I'll put the event info, MichiganBoondockers.net. You guys already probably know it, but just in case, if you guys want to see what Jack is up to, and you want to see the website, it is backcountryvillage.com, and you can find Jack on Facebook, Jack Sarama, and you can also find him on Instagram if you don't follow him, longtrack_Jack, and that'll take you right to him. And I'm assuming you'll probably post updates there as well. So just everybody keep your eyes. Okay. Yep. Keep your eyes peeled, and we'll talk more about it then. So, all right. Thanks again. We'll see you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay.